You understand, sir?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, excellent moments to every one of us. We greet us today. This is Friday. We say excellent moment to every one of us. We say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on our time zone. It's another wonderful Friday, the 15th day of August 2025. And today we are here in our global cluster sessions again. We are saying instead of answers, instead of end bad governance revolutions and other revolutions that have never yielded anything positive to us as a people, as a nation, we are calling ourselves in the voice of the global president, the founder of the global cluster, the person of Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmo. We are saying, come, let us do Sabificate Revolution, talking about our set skills, how we can upscale and how we can scale up to be able to empower ourselves for the opportunities around. Yes, we are not saying certificates is not valid, but we are saying that as we get certifications, let's get skills also to be able to implement and produce and to be more empowered in the new economy, in the advanced economy that we are today. And before we dive in, today we are so privileged to have our guest speaker, the person of Mr. Peace is around. A very big shout out to the 001 Certificates Evolution in person of Dr. Alex, agreed to serve, and the 002 Certificates Evolution in person of Cluster and Sir Coyote Oyedotun, aka Master Genie. Thank you so very much for everyone joining us today on in the studio. Thank you on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you so very much. Yes, before we bring up our host for today, the guest for today, uh, we would like to introduce ourselves to today's Certificate Evolution with the video promo of the Certificate Evolution. Host, can you share the video of Certificate Evolution as well? Thank you.
Welcome to the Sabificate Revolution, where knowledge meets action. This revolution is about discovering your potential, honing your skills, and transforming your passions into prosperity. At Global Clusters, I believe that every talent has the power to shape lives and uplift communities. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a professional, or a creative mind, the Sabificate Revolution empowers you to leverage your expertise for personal success and global impact. Together, we create opportunities, foster growth, and celebrate the spirit of collaboration. Join the movement. Let your knowledge be your legacy. Unleash your potential and thrive with the Sabificate Revolution. Visit theglobalclusters.org to join a global network of innovators, entrepreneurs, and changemakers. Stay connected for the latest events, revolutions, and opportunities. Remember, every meeting is a step toward your success and the world's transformation. Let's sabificate the future together.
Yes, let us certificate the word together. Yes, I am your moderator today. I'm Cluster Oluwaseyi Odusagun, and we're going to be diving in immediately. We have our guest facilitator today for Certificates Evolution. Thank you, sir, Mr. Peace.
Thank you.
Obichere, I don't know if I didn't pronounce it properly.
Yes, you did.
We
You
are
actually
live now. You have been viewed on our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel, our X and our Instagram and TikTok channel. So you are being viewed all over the world. This is Sabification Evolution, one of our meetings, daily meetings in the global clusters for nation building. So thank you so very much. Good to have you. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think at this point, I'll just have to do a bit of introduction on myself and my background. My name is Pisubichere, and I represent Remedy Earth. Remedy Earth is a renewable energy um, company. I don't know. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir,
sir. Please go ahead.
we can hear
Okay.
noise from the background there, sir. Please, is
Yes,
there
yes,
any
I'm
way?
trying to. Yes, I'm trying to manage the noise.
Go ahead, sir.
All
Can't
right.
say you will let me. Go ahead. We are very good.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Remedy Earth is a renewable energy independent power producer, and I am the regional director for Africa, overseeing all Remedy Earth operations, not just in Africa alone, but the part of the Caribbean and also Europe. And for me, my background has been on climate change, and I was trained by the Agor Foundation on climate change, and I've been privileged to speak on energy transitioning at various global programs. I was at COP conference in Dubai, COP conference in Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh, and also I've been privileged to speak at the C4All, that is Sustainable Energy for All program in New York, that is UN headquarters. So for me, it's about energy transitioning for Africa. So I'm a Pan-African person, and it is my responsibility to domesticate the technology and to see how we can help African transition into clean, sustainable, and affordable power. I want to lay emphasis on clean and affordable because it is very, very important for us as a continent to start looking at cutting down on our greenhouse gas emission, and that is why it has to be clean. You agree with me that 90% of the power generated in this part of the world are mostly fossil fuel generated, either from gas to power, either from coal, whichever means. They are all dirty means of power generation. So for us here, it is our responsibility to take advantage of this technology. It's an American technology, but we in Africa, we're trying to domesticate it. Before going to the detail of the technology, you just allow me, dive into a preliminary understanding so you have a better understanding of what the technology entails. Within the renewable energy space, we have the hydro, we have the solar, we have the wind, and these are about um, the cleanest um, renewable energy sources we have at the moment. Hydro has its own environmental impact because it's not location friendly. The wind turbine, they also have their own issues because when it's not every places you can install a wind turbine because of the wind speed. And solar also has its own challenges because the energy generated are intermittent, and it is not guaranteed 24/7. So there are a lot of disadvantages with the already available renewable energy sources we have. Hydro is not location friendly. The environmental impact is unimaginable. Anytime they call it the Lado Dam in Cameroon, anytime there's a release of water from the dam, it affects more than 26 states here in Nigeria. So the environmental impact is devastating. So with us here, we have a technology that is presently changing the narrative in the global electricity supply industry. Our technology is centered primarily on induction heating. Induction heating itself is not a new technology. Induction heating has been in existence for over 71 years, and the owners of that patent are Inductotam control 70% of the broiler market. They supply broilers to the steel and the foundry industry. So they control 70% of that market. Induction heating, what our nuclear engineers were able to do was to reinvent
I think we're having some network glitches. Mr. Peace, kindly reconnect. I believe there's a network glitch there. There's unique thing about being in the studio. You need to have a network that is kind of stable coming into the studio. That's very important. We hope that Mr. Peace will connect to the studio because it's actually giving out some very, very uh, valid points. What is saying kind of very, very, very I can resonate, like it's relatable to me because yeah, I'm a professional teacher, I'm a geography teacher, and when it's talking about renewable energy and the fossil fuel, the HEP, the solar, the wind, yeah, and it's true that most of the energy that we use uh, in this part of the world, Nigeria, they are basically, yes, they are energy that's their end results, their products, their end product damages the environment. You understand? Talking about carbon, the carbon footprint, the carbon footprint of these energies, is they are the underlying effects of climate change. And yeah, talking about clean energy, that's something I think will be very good for every one of us to know about. It's very important that we enlighten the whole world. And the fact to me that that's one of the reasons, that subsidy was removed from all this fossil fuel because we have to pay more for carbon. We call it carbon taxes. You understand? And that's why we are paying more and we are paying less for CNG. CNG is actually very, very cheap right now. You understand? It's very, very cheap because it's clean. You know, tax are being removed from all those things that add value to the environment, while their tax is being imposed on those um, chemicals or products that are hazardous to the environment. That's one of the reasons. And learning about the clean energy will really help us. Yeah, this has been we have been informed about this recently by the ambassador, and we would love to have the regional manager back to enlighten us so we can know how to, have this, know about this, how this skill, and we have the knowledge, to sabi these things are top-notch knowledge and information that uh, people learn in school. They pay a lot for all this, talking about induction energy and induction heating. But it's very important that we we know all these things as a people, and when we know these things, it helps us to position ourselves properly in the right state, by which imagine you having the ability to know how these things are being done, as Mr. Peace was trying to explain before the network glitches. But I think in the building now, in the building we have the 002 certificate. Master Genie, I see you, sir. Welcome, sir. Good to have you, sir. Master Genie. Master Genie is your call today. Um, Good to have you on the call, sir. Can you meet, sir, Master Genie? Welcome, sir, Master Genie. The 002
Thank you very
certificate.
much, Clusteran Oluwaseyi. Thank you, sir. I greet our global president, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus. I greet our first lady, and I greet all our daddies and mommies in the house, all the great Clusterian. I greet everyone on this another Sabificate Friday of the Global Clusters. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and for those that are going to listen to us in the future, thank you for tuning in. Okay, I'm sorry I came late. Cluster Alua Sheyi, I was just in transit, so I was just setting up my system here now. If you can just carry on while I just set up some things for you here, and then I'll join you, please.
All right, thank you so very much. Host, please, if you can hear us, kindly spotlight the 002 is in the building right now. I believe we're gonna have Mr. Peace later on. The host, please kindly spotlight the 002 is in the building while it's set up. Thank you. As we were talking about what uh, Mr. Mr. Peace Obi Chiri was trying to enlighten us about, about the clean and affordable energy. Things are actually here. Like I was mentioning CNG, that's the compressed natural gas. These things, we need to study all these things. So it will help us generally. Example, if you have a vehicle that has been converted, the government has said go convert your engine to the one that will work with CNG. Now CNG is here, people are using it, and it's very cheap. But if you don't know, like the slogan, like the motto of the certificate,
Hello.
that if you are not if you are not in the know, you can't be in the flow. All right, Mr. Peace, you're back.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My other phone went off, so I had to connect with the other phone. I'm so
It's okay,
sorry.
sir. It's okay, sir.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay.
So am I audible enough?
Yes, you are audible. Kindly go ahead, sir.
Okay. So I
Thank you.
don't know at what point did I lose
Yeah, you are talking about tech that is
okay, the tech.
charging what that's through
Yes.
induction heating. That's what you're trying to say.
Induction heating, yes. So in induction heating is actually a technology that was invented by a company called Inductotam. What they did was to replace the coal and the fossil fuel means of heating steel, melting steel. So they came up with a technology called the induction heating. So the induction heating works this way: it works in the button. When you need to melt a steel, when you switch it on, it takes you automatically to 600 degree Fahrenheit, melts the steel. When you switch it off within one button, it goes cold immediately. So that is actually what our nuclear engineers were able to do. So what they do was to reinvent the induction heating technology in order to use it to generate clean electricity. So 85% of the power plant components are off the shelf. So what it means is the 85% component of our plants are components you can get, tested, trusted, and some of our big suppliers that we've signed a long-term supply agreement with are the major big players in the industry. We have supply agreement with Siemens. We have supply agreement with ABB. We have supply agreement with Toshiba. So basically what they are doing is they are supplying us the steam turbine. What makes our technology so unique is actually a component that was designed by our inventor. Is an American by name Paul. He actually designed a component called the pressure vessel, otherwise known as the kettle. So this is how it works. 35,000 gallons of distilled water are filled into the pressure vessel, and the induction heating method is used to heat the pressure vessel to a temperature of about 600 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, steam is generated. So the steam is passed through a closed loop system that goes and activates the steam turbine genset. So when the steam turbine genset is activated, it starts generating. So what happens is 10% of the power generated is used to run the system, 90% goes to the grid. It is 100% clean. And one of the unique things about the Paradigm Power Plant is it is actually housed in a very robust system. It is housed in an SCIP building that will not allow flooding, that will not allow vandalization, that will not allow earthquake, even to a magnitude of about 9.5. And it is completely strong and a robust housing system. And it is covered with a Faraday cage that makes it almost noiseless when it starts generating. And the footprint is unimaginable. We had a call from Ethel. They had a data center in Lekki Phase 1. So they want a mix of renewable energy into their energy mix. And they felt they needed to go solo. They felt they needed to go solar. And they were looking at a 2 megawatt of solar farm. Yes. Well done. So they're looking at a 2 megawatt of solar farm, and they realized that they will need between 60 to 100 acres of land just to build a 2 megawatt of solar farm, because you need an array of panels. And for crying out loud, there's no way you get a 60 to 100 acres of land in Lekki Phase 1, except you want to start laying the solar panels on people's building. So when they came across our technology, and when we met with them, they realized that all we needed, the footprint we needed for a 2 megawatt, is just less than half a plot. To be precise, 176 square meter land size. So that is unimaginable. So what it means is our technology has the best footprint, and it's not brick and mortar, it's semi-mobile, meaning it can be moved from one place to another. And we generate at base load. Generating at base load means generating at a volt at which it can be transmitted without necessarily, stepping it up to the grid. The Nigerian grid system operates a two-line system. We operate a 330 kVA transmission line, and we also have a 135 kVA transmission line. So what it means is the big generators, what they do is they generate at high frequency. So what they do is they can push to the transmission grid, and when they are bringing it down, they have to step it down so they can inject it into the substation. But we generate at base load. We had an extensive meeting with the TCN, that is the owners of the transmission, the grid, the national grid. During the course of our meeting, we met with the GM, System and Planning Department, Engineer Shehu Gaba. So the first question I asked him, why are we always experiencing consistent grid collapses? He gave me several reasons. The first reason, he talked about obsolete infrastructure. The second, he talked about drop in power generation. The third, he talked about generating capacity. And the fourth, he talked about vandalization. So this is it. The transmission capacity of our grid, our national grid as we speak, is 15,000 megawatts. But when you check our generating capacity, we have not generated more than 5,000 megawatts. So what it means is you have a 100-ton bus that has been designed to carry a load of 100 tons, and the bus is carrying a load of 10 tons. So it will affect the stability. So what we need first is to increase generation. And once we can increase generation, we can as well stabilize the grid. So outside increasing generation, we can as well enhance, which they have been doing. There's a bit of enhancement of the transmission infrastructure. There are several substations that has been installed. We have the one in Ogbomoso. We have some of the injection substations that was just commissioned by the Ikeja Electric and some other things. Yes, these are very fantastic development. But the big question is, we have a transmission line that has the capacity to transmit 15,000 megawatts, and we are still generating less than 5,000. So which means we are not even using 50% of our capacity. So whenever there is a drop, for example, the biggest generators like the Olorun Shogos, the Omotosho plant, owned by the Adelekes, they are Farm 1, they are Farm 2, they are Farm 3 gas-powered plants. When there is a drop in generation, the moment there is a drop in big generators, it triggers the grid and the grid automatically collapses. So when the grid collapses, they start it up all over again. It could take some few hours, in some cases a day, to get it up back. So these are some of the challenges. And when I told them this is the solution. We have a solution to the problem at the moment. It's not just all about the federal government signing a deal with Siemens. For me, I see it as it's a waste of time, actually. So what we needed to do is to utilize the capacity of our grid first. I remember sometime last year, the Lagos state government said they are looking for independent power producers, because the Lagos state government have been facing a whole lot. Once there's a breakdown in the national grid, there's no electricity supply. So what are they looking at? They are looking at independent power producers that are able to install their plants close to substations. So I took my time to look at the available substations across the transmission infrastructure. And I told the GM that in order to minimize this issue, we can install our plant close to substations. Even when there's a grid collapse, the people are still having access to power. I checked the substation in Ikeja, the one close to Ogba, the one in Ogba. The capacity of that substation is about 250 megawatts. But the last time I asked the CTO of Ikeja Electric, I said, how much of power comes to that substation? He said, please, we don't get more than 20, 30 megawatts on a daily basis. So it means they are not utilized. So we have a technology that can help address the issue of power instantly and immediately. our technology is so unique that the external factors don't determine our generation. For example, the fight in Ukraine and Russia has affected the price of gas. I don't know if you guys are aware of the newly installed 1,250 megawatts of gas to power plant by the Adelekes. Are you aware of the plant?
Yeah.
Yes, the plant is completely installed. At the moment, they are waiting for approval for the LNG gas link. So when I did a comparative cost analysis, that plant arguably is the largest single gas to power plant we have in Nigeria. The capacity is 1,250. If you need to add that to the national grid, it means we'll have about 1,250 increase, which will take us to about 6,250, which is a good one for us. But let's look at the comparative cost analysis. How much of LNG gas is needed to power that plant on a daily basis? You need about 4,500 metric tons of liquefied natural gas to power that gas plant on a daily basis. So the big question is, what is the price of LNG? There are several parameters that affect the price of LNG, location, and the rest of it. So the price varies per metric ton. So, but when you look at when you look at Google, they will tell you, between $350 to about $450 per metric ton. So when you do the calculation, you realize that on a daily basis, you need to spend as much as $1.6 million alone on gas to make sure that 1,250 megawatts of gas power plant is running. And I want you to understand that the Adelekes don't own the plant. The plant is owned by the Chinese investor. So they invested about $2 billion to get that plant up. So they're expected to make their money for over a period of time through a PPA, a power purchase agreement for, say, 25, 30 years. Let's assume the duration of the power purchase agreement is for 30 years. So when you do your calculation, you will realize that by the end of 30 years, the plant would have spent about $15 to $16 billion alone on liquefied natural gas. So when you check the comparative cost analysis, you discover that our plant is not just the now, our plant is the future of energy generation. No external factor. You are not bothered about the fight in Ukraine and Russia that will determine the price of gas. You're not bothered about Trump coming up to make a statement that will either increase the price of gas or probably some of the factors that affect gas price increase in Nigeria. And that is why there are consistent increase in the electricity tariff. This is so because of the increase in the price of gas. I was with the GM network expansion, MTN. They have a data center in Ojota, and the IPP that powers that data center is Wellbeck. So I was asking the GM network expansion to be very honest with me. How much are they spending on powering the data center per kilowatt hour? He told me 320 naira per kilowatt hour. Man, that is crazy. That is too expensive. So that is why we have experienced increase in telecom tariff from your data tariff to your core tariff. And these things will keep increasing because they are solely dependent on gas to power plants. So the price of gas will always go up. The price of gas will always go on the increase. So with our technology, you don't have such, because our technology is primarily powered by distilled water. That makes us not just the now, that makes us also the future.
We are the big thing that has happened to the global electricity supply industry. And we've been able to sign deals across Africa. We have 96 megawatts signed in Kingdom of Eswatini. We have about 2.1 gigawatts deal signed with the Western Cape government in South Africa. We have in Guinea-Bissau, we have in Poland, we have in Guyana. We just have across all these countries embracing our technology. The last time I met with the GM network expansion in MTN, he said they have given them a target to cut their greenhouse gas emission by 10%. So what it means is they need to bring a mix of renewable energy. And it's always a problem, especially for a data centers. They can't even bring in solar. What they are able to do is for their BTA sites that require maybe 50 kVA, 10 kVA, 25 kVA, maybe 100 kVA. So what they do is to integrate solar. And the truth is, solar is also intermittent. It's either they are changing batteries or they are changing panels and the rest of it. So there's a bit of instability with power coming from solar. So the only technology that can compete favorably with your gas to power plant, with your thermal plant, with your hydro plant is the paradigm power plant. At this point, I want to take questions. If there's any technical questions before I move to the commercials.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr. Peace. You have done real justice to a lot, and this your session has been long overdue. We are expecting it for a while now. We understand that you have been very busy. Thank you for being our guest today. Um, yeah, everything you are saying, you understand, to me, I could say I actually resonate with it because professionally I'm a geography teacher, so I understand so much about climate change and carbon emission, carbon footprint, renewable energy and non-renewable, fossil fuel, and the effects of the toxic gases that petroleum and the like released into the atmosphere, and the presence of the greenhouse gases. You understand? I understand so very well. And it's good that we're having things like this incorporated into our system, in the power system. And good, there is a bill, there is a bill from even that we passed into law for liberation of the sector, through the Electricity Act 2023. You understand that energy can be privatized, and having this idea brought into us, into the country, is something that will help us, as globally change, as global change evolve. We love that, in those days, Nigeria especially used to be like behind technology. You understand? Things that have gone past in the in America, in Europe, uh, now being brought to us. Yes, this also has been, in vogue, but coming to us early now is good, and we look forward to partnering with you. Thank you so very much, Mr. P.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for we really appreciate. I don't know if others want to add their voice before we go on, because this our session is always an hour, 5 to 6. But since you are here today, we'd like to have you express, and I'm very sure that your comment today is not a one-off. We'll definitely be having time
Yes,
to
exactly.
and again. Okay, I don't know if Mr. Joshua, are you there? Kindly add your voice, sir, before Mr. Peace will go on. Mr. Joshua, are you there? Mr. Joshua. All right. Master Jim, the O02 certificates. Today we have our guest today, Mr. Peace, handling the Sabificate Revolution for us today, the O02, and he has been talking about generating power, that is electricity, through steam, that is through an induction method. We know that the ambassador, the global president, has informed us about this. We're expecting the regional manager, but he have explained he has been very busy. But we are happy that he's here, enlightening us, teaching us how the involvement, the involvement of the and I'm gonna ask a question, but I want others also to add their voice for some very simple and general question. Mr. Ginny, do you have any contribution to what Mr. Peace have guided us with before he continues? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Clusteran Oluwaseyi. Before I answer that, host, can you kindly bring President up? He's messaging in the comment section. Our
Okay.
guest speaker, Mr. Peace, thank you so much for this great information you have brought on to us today. And before I
Thank
have
you
any,
very much.
you're very welcome, sir. So I
Thank
want the commercial part because this is another way for our people to even generate income from themselves. You understand? Because we can bring power into our community, which is one thing we lack in the country. And I mean, sounds very interesting and very easy to do if we put our mind into it. So I want him to continue without taking too much time. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you. Go on, sir. Next
Okay.
question of
Thank you very much.
and can it be
Sometime I think
individual? Can homes have it? Can individual homes also have it? That's my own question also.
okay.
Go on, sir.
Sometime in I think was in 2020, I think during Muhammad Buhari's regime, I was privileged to be at the unveiling of the NNPC and sat very close to to Otedola. So the first question I asked him was, "I'm more concerned, sir. You sold the downstream sector of your business, and you went into power." And the answer is give me is that the next cash cow is power. I was like, because at the time I was the country managing director of a company called B&S Chint. They are the largest manufacturers of solar panel. So I have spoken at several solar events in West Africa, in Africa, the African Solar Outlook. So I'm an advocate for solar. So now I'm seeing a better technology, so we keep advancing. So when he said that to me, it got me thinking, and made me come to the realization that not even oil and gas, not even telecom, electricity will be the next cash cow. And it is a testament that we can see now that it was almost everywhere that Otedola was almost bankrupt. But with the acquisition of the Geruge power plant, he was able to come back, and now he's still in the billionaire status. So that brings me to the commercial of the business, the commercial of the power plants. We have three models. One is the PPA model. The second is the outright purchase. And the third is the down payment. But the truth is, for the outright purchase, it is always difficult for customers in this part of the world, that is Africa. Our technology is arguably the most expensive technology in the energy space at the moment. But in the long run, it becomes extremely cheap. So for a megawatt of our power plant, it goes for $6.4 million. So the entrance level for our power plant is the 2 megawatt model. We have three models. We have the 2 megawatt model, we have the 5 megawatt model, we have the 20 megawatt model. So we can build from 2 megawatt to 2,000 plus, depending on the capacities of our customer. The deal we signed with the Kingdom of Eswatini, that is the Eswatini Electricity Company, they were getting power from South Africa. And for the last 3 years, the South African escrow have been going through a whole lot. As I speak with you, there is 3 hours cut of power on a daily basis in South Africa. I shuttled Johannesburg and Lagos, so I can tell. And in my hotel room, there was no light. I went to the reception. I said, I need light. They said, you just have to wait. We don't run generators here. I was like, are you kidding me? So I waited for 3 hours until the light was restored. So Remedy Earth and its technology powering power plants are looking forward to solving that problem. We've been able to sign a deal of about 2.1 gigawatts with the Western Cape government. There's a whole lot happening in South African electricity market, especially with the indebtedness of Eskom. So there's so many things, fraud and the rest of it they are trying to clean up. So our technology is playing a key role. The biggest of our deals are in South Africa. So as we're seeing it, depending on South Africa for power, felt there's a problem. So the only way for them to be sustainable is to become a net generator of electricity. They heard about our technology. They were just too desperate. They went to our Inductotam factory in the US and came back, and I was there. I had a presentation with the management board of the Eswatini Electricity Company. As we speak, we've signed for 96 megawatt. The insurance process is almost complete, and installation will start in a month or 2. So because of the fact that in this part of in Africa, we are not too liquid enough, we prefer the first model, which is the PPA. The PPA is at no capital, no investment, no risk from our off-takers. So what is required of our off-takers is a letter of intent showing your intention to want to deploy our technology and a 3 years audited financial statement of the company and a 30-month invoice revenue guarantee. We raise the fund, we do everything, and we sign a power purchase agreement with our customers on take-or-pay basis for 90%. Upon the expiration of the power purchase agreement, the customer takes complete ownership of the plant. Our PPA duration are mostly between 20 years, 25 and 30, depending on the price per kilowatt hour and the cost of living adjustment, the COLA. So it is at zero risk, zero investment, no capital from our off-takers. We fund 100%. And we've been able to sign a couple of deals here in Nigeria. We have signed 10 megawatts with Tingo Group. We are powering their data center in VI. And also they have an AI radio. That is the Tingo FM. It's a complete, the first African AI radio with no human being working there, but complete AI. It runs 24/7. So we are deploying a 2 megawatt of our powering power plant in the AI radio and an 8 megawatt powering power plant in the data center. So they are also trying to build the largest data center in Africa, which will need about 150 megawatt of power. MTN just finished building presently the biggest data center in Nigeria at Ikeja. I was there when it was unveiled, and they get power from the grid through the substation in Ogba. So they had to lay the pipe on the ground to supply them. But you know, the power coming from the grid is not 100% guaranteed. So they still have diesel-backed generators on standby. So which means it still costs them more. So they want us to also deploy our technology. We've advanced discussions with them. Hopefully in the coming months, we would reach financial foreclosure. And when that happens, we'll replicate it in all the MTN network across Africa. So the PPA model is the perfect fit for customers in Nigeria, where they don't need to part in any penny, they don't need to take any risk. We raise the fund ourselves. We do the installation. We just sign a power purchase agreement with the 13 months invoice revenue guarantee, and we'll supply them power. They pay for the power supplied, and we are good. At the end of the expiration of the power purchase agreement, they take complete ownership of the plant. So that is how the PPA model is. For the outright purchase, $6.4 million, which at the long run, it becomes cheaper. I had an extensive meeting with the former owners of Eco Disco, that is the now owners of their own Intrinsic Electricity. They sold their majority share in Eco Disco. Now they own about 60% in Port Harcourt Disco. When I had a meeting with the chairman, and what he did was to ask the GM in charge of renewable energy to do a comparative cost analysis with the gas power plant and our plant. And they realized that in the long run, our plant is extremely very cheap, even though it will cost you more money to buy it at the instance, but in the long run, it becomes cheap. So can you imagine spending $15 to $16 billion for a gas plant built with $2 billion? That is about another $19 billion estimated. Compared, if they are to buy our plants for 6.4, it means they are going to spend about $8 billion. So the O&M are done for free. We take charge for O&M. For an outright purchase, we do O&M for 10 years free of charge. So the O&M is nothing really serious. We assume that because it's a recycling process, we assume that we are going to be losing about 2 liters of water on a daily basis. Our O&M are done after 3 years. So the old plant is not shut down. The plants are shut down unit by unit because they are scalable. They are model by model, the 2 megawatt model, the 5 megawatt model. So when you are trying to do an O&M for a 10 megawatt, you shut down the 2 megawatt, do your maintenances, get it up back, shut down another 2. So, and the period of this O&M is not up to 24 hours, so that makes us so unique. And the lifespan of our power plant is over 50 years. So what it means is, even after the expiration of the power purchase agreement, the plant can still go another 25 years. And that is why we have the best of the best suppliers. We don't use Chinese steam turbines. Our steam turbines are coming from Siemens, that is 100% guaranteed, Toshiba, 100% guaranteed, and ABB. A friend of mine got a steam turbine, I think a 2 megawatt steam turbine, and along the line, he had issues just 6 months into generation. And he called me, he said the steam turbine he bought has started developing issue. And I told him, where did you get the steam turbine from? He said it's from China. I said, well, you need to do an investigation because it's possible that is a refurbished steam turbine. So after in the investigation, he realizes that steam turbine has served in Namibia for about 25 years. So what happened was they had to take it to China to refurbish it and bring it back to him and sold it to him as a new. So that is why we don't do anything Chinese. These are typical American technology, 100% guaranteed, and the best you can have in the market. So for the other third model, which is 20% down payment. So what it means is when the off-takers drop 20% of the cost of the total, that's the COD, we raise the remaining funds and the customer pays over time. It could be for 3, it could be for 15, 20 years, depending on the arrangement, So, but the most preferable and the best model that works for us in Africa here is the PPA model, where we don't have to part in any penny, we don't have to bring in any fund, we just need to get some certain requirements in place, and we are good to go. So for the price of power, At the moment, for the MD1 customers, that is the maximum demand customers, because the customers are categorized according to the electricity tariff regime. We have the band A, the band B, the band C. The band A are called the MD1 customers, those ones that are obligated to be supplied light minimum 20 hours a day. So they call them the MD1 customers. The price per kilowatt hour at the end user level is put at 209. From the information just reaching me, I was told that distribution companies are set to increase the tariff to 225. So when you look at this and compare to our own tariff, our tariff regime, depending on the funder's approval, is between 8 cents per kilowatt to about 10 cents per kilowatt. So which means it's about 130, 120, 125, 130 naira per kilowatt to about 160 naira per kilowatt. So when you do your calculation, you discover that we are not just clean, we are very, very affordable. We're in Mali. When I met with the military president of Mali during a virtual meeting, I was told the price to end user go as far as 25 to 30 cents per kilowatt hour. So the question I asked, why is this so expensive? He said because they are mostly diesel power generators. So electricity in Mali is very high. In Guinea-Bissau, very high. In Zanzibar, very high. Why? Because they are mostly diesel or gas to power plants. So you can imagine telling them you want to give them something way lesser. The desperation is not here. In fact, I'm scheduled to travel to Guinea-Bissau on Monday. I had to shift my flight from Sunday to Monday because of my other engagements here in Nigeria. So those are the three models. Those are the three commercials. I don't know if there's any question at this point. I'm ready to take them.
Thank you, sir. Global President, over to you, sir.
No question is a dumb question. It's an opportunity. I want to greet my regional head in the person of Mr. Peace Abichere. Thank you very much for all you do to contribute positively to humanity. It will interest everyone listening both online and in the studio today, and those that will listening to this video, that Remedy Earth has adopted the global cluster platform, seeing it as the most reliable platform to reach out to the people. And even their CSR, the global CEO has said, we're going to do our CSR through the global clusters. And that is why I'm urging all clusterians worldwide, in the UK, in the United States, in Turkey, in Europe, in Asia, in Nigeria, in the whole of the 54 African nations, all clusterians and non-clusterian, it's a call to you to ensure that you light your community. Just reach out to us. We will do the meeting. We want to do it per community, per community. After this call, reach out to me or my PA, that is Oluwaseyi Olusegun, or Clusterian T. Even you can reach out to the 002 Pharmacokinetics or 002 Sabificate Revolution. Reach out to them and get the right proposal to the right people. This is a game changer. This is not a joke. We are not joking here. This is Remedy X. It's X, EARTH. I think, Mr. Peace, anytime you're writing your name, you need to put bracket open and put Remedy X. You know, African Regional Director, Remedy X. You understand? So So this is a game changer, and everyone needs to actually, you know, take the bull by the horn. We're gonna bring him again tomorrow, and this is deliberate. Accurate knowledge and information tomorrow. I need him to do a presentation. I need tomorrow evening is going to go on this live stream, and there is going to be a presentation showing. I didn't want just the word alone. I want them to see the picture, and why you explain is very, very important.
Yes,
Tennessee,
I,
please
I
take
would
note.
I would request that the Chief Operating Officer Remedy at Nigeria by name Alpha. There's a slide that properly explains this technology slide by slide. So I want her to be part of the meeting tomorrow so she can also get to
Please
explain.
immediately
Yes.
let us share the accurate knowledge and information revolution meeting. It's
Okay.
tomorrow. It's about accurate knowledge and information. Today is Sabificate. Both of them are talking about education. So
Mm.
we want a situation whereby tomorrow the slide that is required, please, is being given. If there are videos to play to show something, we need everything. You understand? We're ready to exhaust it. So no question is a dumb question. We want everyone, if you are watching online and you wish to call in, please host, put the phone number to call in, and then you can ask any questions, and you can add your voice. You can give your submission. You understand? We are not joking. As a matter of fact, next week Wednesday, if you are in Nigeria, or even if you are not, you're going to call in into the radio program on Wednesday, 7 p.m. You understand? You are muted. You are muted. You are muted. Unmute yourself,
Okay. So
please.
when is this 7 p.m.? Okay, I'll be in Guinea-Bissau, but I should be able to take
Yeah,
take calls.
you
Yes.
should be able to call in. So you're
Yes.
going to call in into the mainland FM. We
Okay.
are not joking. We are ready to take the bull by the horn. And once I get to Lagos, I'm going to be reaching out to the CMs. So please, no question is a dumb question. Let us get people to give their submission. Akpego Isaiah, what's your take on this?
Good evening, sir. The president, the speaker of today, Sabificate, my colleagues that are highly present today, both Closerian and non-Closerian. So I'm very delighted to listen to this. Somebody the power bank for me, please. To listen to the Sabificate teaching this evening. Actually, electricity has been a major problem in Nigeria over years. Just like what I witnessed some weeks back now. I've been unable to come to join the live stream, to join the meeting at all times, all because of electricity. And the major factor that is behind this is the the distribution companies. They are managing the kilowatts to be supplied to the customers. And at the end of the day, they will come around collecting money from us. Just like my area where I live at Agbara, at is for let me say a week now, there has not been light. And just yesterday, they brought light around let me say 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. I know by Monday they will come around to retrieve money from customers. And this is not helping the society. It is not helping the society. Rather than we should get alternative to make sure we change the face of the society and make sure people benefit in other way around. Because electricity is one of the major factors that is needed to boost the society. So as I listen to this, if this could be effective and it could go down the communities, I think Nigeria, Africa will have a stay. and everybody will have their means of running their business and achieving in the long run. So I'm very grateful for this certificate teaching and the knowledge that we gathered this evening. So I'm praying for strength for the host that just spoke and the spirit to carry us along, because I'm highly interested in this. If there is any means of having my way into the system, I would rather do, because I love anything electricity. I'm also a scientist, so anything electricity, I love it so much, and it's a major factor that that is affecting our country, affecting the communities, affecting the societies. Thank you so much, sir. That's my
Thank,
suggestion.
thank you very much. It just reminds me of Agbara. We got the chairman of Electron. Electron owns an IPP, a power plant in the island. They said they entered an obligation to generate about 500 megawatts in Agbara houses. So up till now, they've not been able to meet with that demand.
Okay.
There's a whole lot that has to do with gas to power. There are a lot of disadvantages because you need to get approvals. We got a call from some people who want us to power about 4 towers in Ikoyi, and they said they don't want gas plants on their infrastructure. They don't want to pass any gas pipeline. So they made it clear.
Okay.
So for us is not just a game changer. We were trying to see how we can also help inform our people so that they get to understand better. Like I said when I did my introduction, my background is climate change. And there's so much we don't know. There's so much Africa don't know. I was addressing the students of Columbia University. During the address, one of the students came to me and asked me, where did you school? How did you know about carbon credits, carbon exchange, and the rest of it? That is the question. So they feel in this part of the world, we don't have information. So sometimes when I go speak at global events, I feel very bad. And when at the end of the day, it seems our government don't even know what is happening. There are billions of dollars that has been marked for mitigation, especially to fight climate change. And those funds are not coming into the country. Why? Because we have leaders who are not thinking the way they should. I think during the Buhari's administration, I had a presentation with Maman Daura. I never knew the man was an extremely intelligent man. During the course of my presentation, after I finished my presentation, the first question he asked me was, "Can you be the essay to the president on low carbon economy?" I told him, "Well, I have my hands packed up." They understood that the only way for sustainable energy development is awareness. So the moment the people are aware, they now know what they should have. There's a lot happening. I want to commend the Lagos State government. They are taking steps, especially in this area. Having a climate change department, having the essay to the governor on climate change, trying to phase out traditional means of cooking by bringing in clean cook stove initiative. So these are some of the things that the technology is opening us up to opportunities. The opportunities are too enormous to mention. There's the GCF, the Global Climate Fund, with billions of dollars wanting to inject it into the African continent. But the truth is, they won't do it if there's nothing attached to it. So our leaders are not thinking the way they should. So that is why we need to push it from the private sector perspective. And that is what we are trying to do in global clusters. And we are ready to partner with global clusters at all aspects. Remedy Earth came into Nigeria through an organization called the Renewable Energy Bank of Africa. It's a sub-regional bank that has to do with green development financing in the African financing space. We don't have that in Africa. We only have a department of the African Development Bank that has to do with sustainable funds for green projects. So what we're doing with REBA, Renewable Energy Bank of Africa, is to attract funds so as to help push sustainability in the African continent. And we know we cannot do it all alone. We need partnership. We need collaboration, just like we have with the global clusters. There are a lot of opportunities. Maybe in the next 2 months, we should be having our African Renewable Energy Summit, where some of the top leaders of global clusters will be invited to also make presentations. So this has to be climate change and renewable energy generation and sustainable energy has to be core in the objective of global clusters. That is what we need in Africa. The electricity access in Africa is alarming. Malawi, over 70% don't have access to electricity. It's unimaginable. Nigeria, about 45-50% don't have access to electricity. So this is killing. So the only way to get these things done is to have people with the right thinking mind and the right technology to expand it. We are not saying the Nigerian government should bring it down. I had a meeting with the Lagos State government late yesterday. I was telling them that there's a funder presently who said, "Peace, I'm ready to inject $6 billion into the Lagos State electricity market." $6 billion. They are ready. They know the market is profitable. The largest electricity market in Africa, or even the world, is Nigeria. Imagine a population of about 250 million and they are generating 5,000. So what it means, what we need to sustain, to have 24 hours power supply is minimum 350,000 megawatt of electricity. That is the minimum. That is the baseline. But guess what? We are not even 10,000 yet. We are 5,000. Can you minus 5,000 from 350? So what it means that the remaining are being powered by diesel, dirty fuel, gas, dirty fuel, releasing greenhouse gas emission that is causing a lot of problem, in the environment, causing periodic change in the weather pattern. You're seeing rain, you're seeing heavy rain downpour, you're seeing flooding, you're seeing a lot of things that ordinarily you shouldn't see. This is because of the ozone layers have been depleted because of the emission of greenhouse gas. So these are some of the things that is an holistic approach, not just solving a problem, it's opening us up to opportunity. It is only when you solve problem that is when opportunity comes. And a lot of people don't even know there is money you earn for going green. There is the carbon exchange market. For the past 5 years, I've been pushing to set up a carbon exchange market in Africa. Let me do a bit of explanation how that works. Let's assume, okay, let's look at a typical traditional cook stove, this firewood stove. It is estimated that a firewood traditional means of cooking emits on an annual basis 6 tons of carbon annually. So what it means is, if you have to replace that traditional means of cooking with a clean, sustainable cook stove, it means you are offsetting, meaning that 6 tons of carbon can be traded in the carbon exchange market. If you check the price of carbon in the verified market or the gold standard market, you're looking at between $30 to $40 to 40 euros. So when you calculate that, you see the money you make. For those who are using solar in their houses, they should be earning money, but none of them are aware of this. You're using solar. The capacity of your solar is 10 kVA. You have your solar panels array and the rest of it. You're not burning diesel. You're using an alternative means. You should be making money because your carbon credit should be traded in the carbon exchange market where you make money on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis for going green. But these informations are not available. These informations are not available. The white people are trying to hide this as much as they can for us. At COP conference in Egypt, in fact, I was just the only black speaker there. They are all white there, from the MD, what is it called, the CEO of the Global Carbon Council, one of the executive directors of HSBC Sustainable Department, the guys from the UN, and I was just telling these people that they should start focus on Africa. We emit less. You look at the global emission. Africa emits less than 4%. But guess what? The environmental impact in Africa is more, and the funds are not coming in. Why are the funds not coming in? Because our leaders are not proactive. They are not. They don't even know what it is. It is just recently, like I said, I want to commend the Lagos State government. I started a magazine far back 2010. I remember I was trying to create awareness of climate change in secondary schools. I started a magazine called the High School Standard Magazine. So I started creating awareness in climate change. I was going from one public school to another. I think at the time I did the launch of my magazine, Aregbesola was the chief launcher. At the time, he was the commissioner of works. So I was able to start making awareness so that the ordinary children in primary schools could understand what they need to do to save the climate, to save the earth. You don't need to burn diesel. You don't need to do this. These are the things you need to do. These are the things you need to do. So it is a collective effort. Climate change is human induced. It is not the punishment from God. It's human induced. The flaring of gas, the burning of coal, the greenhouse gas emissions, eating up the ozone layers, increasing the sea level, leading to flooding and the rest of it. These are all human induced. And the only way to fight it is to mitigate it. You cannot mitigate it when you are not properly informed. You can't mitigate it. There are certain things we do to mitigate it. And when our governments are well positioned, we start attracting these funds. These funds will help us position ourselves better. I was in Freiburg. I was in Freiburg, Germany. That city is almost like Lagos. And guess what? That city is powered by renewable energy. 100% clean. No fossil fuel power plants, no coal power plant, no thermal plant, no gas to power. It is completely powered by solar, renewable, and wind. It's called Freiburg. And I was amazed. So these people are making advancements, but we are just there in Africa, still trying to look where we're not supposed to look. So I think this global cluster is an opportunity to create awareness so that we can begin to take the right step and to make the right decision. If the government are not doing it, we need to begin to push it from the private sector. Because the government won't even make effort. When they see the change coming from the private sector perspective, they have no option but to fall in place. So that is what we're doing, and that is what we will achieve. So Remedy Earth is not just about installing power plants. Remedy Earth is about achieving carbon neutrality. During the last administration, the vice president, Professor, what's his name? Professor, I've forgotten our vice president's name. Forgotten the vice president's name. No, the former vice president.
Shibanjo.
Professor Shibanjo. God bless you. Thank you. Professor Shibanjo, during his time, almost towards the end of his administration, he unveiled the Nigerian Energy Transition Plan. And I was very instrumental in preparing that documentation. The Nigerian Energy Transition Plan. I wish that man could have continued as a president. The man understood it very well. It's an energy transition plan for the next 30 years. And guess what? Since he left, there's no implementation. The document is just there. It's just there. Since he left, no implementation. And nobody is even talking about it. We want to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. How can we do it? All our power plants are fossil fuel power plants. You don't even have solar in our electricity mix. There's no solar in the national grid. There's no solar. The solars we have are off-grid, are mini-grid. There's no solar in the national grid. There's no solar. They are either gas to power or hydro. So there's no solar there. So what are we even talking about? The energy transition plan that was released, we won't even see the light of the day. These are some of the challenges. So until we begin to push it from the private sector, they'll know these guys mean business. Oh, when you have this, there's this thing happening, this thing happening. I signed a deal. I don't know. I think I was going to talk to Ambassador about it. There's a company called Gaia. Gaia. They are based in
Okay.
Istanbul and Geneva. I signed a deal with them in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, for the free distribution of 10,000 clean cook stove. They were going to pay for it. I'm still going to send you the details of that agreement. They are based in
Please,
Turkey.
please tell me the details. Let me follow up with them.
Yes. Her name is Geddes. She was formerly with the HSBC before she started. She has a
Wow.
development bank in Dubai. Her name is Geddes. Very wonderful woman. She's been looking forward to come to Nigeria, but I've been so busy, carried away on marketing remedy yet. I'll send you her details. She's based in Turkey.
Why not?
The name of her company. She runs two organizations. One is
Wow.
Mondover. The other one is Gaia Climate. You know. So these are some of the things, and I hope with consistent engagement, we would able to achieve our target. Thank you
Of
very
course,
much.
of course. Thank you very much. I deliberately give you time because this is very, very important. This is something that every Nigerian is yearning for, every African is yearning for constant power supply. And if somebody is giving us information about it, I don't mind even extending today's meeting to 2 hours. You understand? But having said that, let's have Cluster Oluwafumilayo Bakari. What's your take on this, please?
Yeah, thank you, my president. Kudos to Peace for the, I'll call it a tip on iceberg introduction about this electricity solution. My take is that, of course, if there's no problem, there won't be solution.
Of course.
If there's no challenge, there won't be solution. So I believe that you have said it. This is a very powerful platform that this project can be harnessed or embraced by all Nigerians. You know, but the truth is that there's something you will tell me as a person based on my experience for me to buy into that idea. So as a food soldier, I want to say we are your food soldier now, or your ambassador in this regard. So there is need for a kind of technical detail, a kind of a more elaborate teaching with regards to this project, so that when we go out there, when they ask a question, how much is per kilowatt? Why? What is the source of this electricity? What is different between this and the former one? Is there any ABC? These two are the things that I want to say you should, because I personally appreciate this and I understand it as well. But what about those who really, really need this project? You know why? Some people also are working on different projects now to solve issue of electricity. This is our own presently. Let us find a way. If I trust Ambassador Badman. I know where he's going to, but I just want to preempt him. Let's quickly create a group of interested food soldier that will bring together, train them on some areas of importance. That if I knock at somebody's door or I try to go to any industry or companies, these are the things that I'm bringing on board that will take them aback, that will give them listening ear, ready to hear what I'm going to say when I'm saying, because it's a marketing, what I'm going to tell them. So I think this is the next step we need to quickly look out for now. Because when you talk, it's like a jargon to others. But when you explain further, it will help. So that is my submission at interim. But I know that in the mind of my Oga, I know what he's thinking, and I trust him. But give us that detail so that we can quickly move into action, for people to buy into it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to send something to the group that the Global Clusters and ARE marketing team. I believe you're there. I'm going to send something to that group today. And What I'm sending there is we give you the technical know-how about Remedy Health. We give you all the explanation that you need. You just need to peruse it and get ready. Now, what you need to do on the immediate is to get to your own local government. Get your own local government. We want to do it local government by local government. Don't miss the opportunity. Reach out to us and let us, ensure that we take this to your own local government. So, if you're watching this from any African nations, we can actually take this to the next level with you. There is no problem. Tomorrow is coming. So I want you to invite as many as possible. Tomorrow will be a proper presentation, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. We'll be here again. Our time, I want to say, is special thanks to the regional director, that is Mr. Peace, company of Remedy Health, for doing all of this. And I want to appreciate everyone that has come to the call today. Thank you very much. Share the video, you understand, with your friends and family. Tomorrow is coming, and I will equally crave his indulgence if the global CEO can just say something to all clusterians and non-clusterians. We'll be very happy if the global CEO all the way from Spain of Remedy Health can say something tomorrow. You understand? Just a little.
Okay.
A little
Is
word.
Stella right?
Yeah.
Yes, I would. He's a very
Yes.
busy man. I would.
I know.
What time are we looking at? What time are we looking
It's
at?
5 p.m. Tomorrow is 5 p.m. Between 5 and we might even use 2 hours tomorrow to dig this, because this is the
So
very
he may just need to jump in. He may just need to
jump
jump in and
out.
jump out.
Yes, we like it. Just to add his voice to say, Clusterians, we have you and we're ready to give you the right support. Go out there to the world and start.
So
one of
the things you make him understand that you have pool of customers who are ready and waiting.
Yeah. We do.
So you just needed to attach a face to the name.
Yes.
So that
kindly make him realize that, please. So
yes. Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you very much. During our accurate knowledge and information, we're going to be seeing, you can see the regional director of Africa said he's going to bring the global CEO of Remedy Health. It's not a meeting that anybody should joke with. There will be a proper presentation. Cluster Oluwaseyi, I just add Mr. Peace to the Global Cluster and ARE marketing team group now, and I want you to follow up with Tennessee, and you guys should make sure that you have the PowerPoint presentation to present tomorrow. I need a proper presentation on the call tomorrow, please. And I need everyone, all the people that are in the marketing team, to join through the YouTube channel. You understand? We cannot have everybody here. People can join through YouTube, we can join through Facebook. You understand? And we're going to be televising. If you have 1 million people, everybody can join and listen to this lecture. I believe you have been added on to today. It's Sabificate Revolution, and we're saying that we should embrace skill. We're saying, what do you sabi? It is what you sabi that will determine what will come into your life. And we want to be drawing the curtain today because our time is fast spent. And in closing, we want to ask, who are we? We are a consortium of professionals or aspiring professionals, technocrats or aspiring technocrats, entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, where we share accurate knowledge of our industry. Why? Because we give the right power, accurate information, because that is the bridge between where you are and where you ought to be. Accurate connection, because to whom you are connected to determine what you collect. We are not just a social media platform with the marketplace with the best monetization in the world. We are the strongest nation building social media platform on earth. Proudly Nigeria, proudly Africa. And to join, you can download the app on Play Store, the Global Cluster, THE GLOBALCLUSTERS. You know, you can download it. You can go, if you're using an iPhone, you can go to your Safari, www.theglobalclusters.org. And there's a one-time lifetime combo package of 61,000 for clusterian. For a vendor that wants to sell in the community, is 81,000, and you will be selling like a pro. You understand? So if you want to get more information about the global, or about Remedy Health and the global clusters, just DM us. Go to any of our social media platform and DM us. A review about this meeting will be televised tomorrow, and don't miss tomorrow accurate knowledge and information. Tomorrow in the morning, 9 a.m., 9:30 rather, we'll be meeting with retired Colonel Michael Bengaoshi, and we'll be talking about security. Every Saturday in the morning, normally talk about security. Don't miss it for anything. You understand? You're going to learn more about security. Thank you very much, Mr. Peace, for coming by. Thank you, all the Gloucesterians that joined. Those online, thank you very much. Please kindly share this video with friends and family. And if you belong to any local government, you want your local government chairman to do anything, please kindly reach out to us. Let's get you the proposal to the local government chairman. Having said that, I want to say have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.